Hey guys, me again. I want to thank you first of all if you even stopped for a minute to watch the video. I just want to say thanks. I don't have any intentions whatsoever except to share my off-grid living with you so that those of you who are doing the off-grid thing, maybe you'll see something you like, maybe you'll see something you don't like, I don't know. But I'm going to share with you what I've got so far. It's been about, I don't know, a year, whatever, since I've made a video. And the last time I made a video, I did not have near as much on board as I do now. And the first thing I want to do is just start off with the house and show you what I have. This is a 12 by 32 little tiny house that I got from one of those like you see off the side of the road, and had it delivered, set up. They set it up for free, good to go. I live here all the time. Now it is completely off the grid. It's not hooked up to the grid at all in any fashion. Lights, water, sewer, nothing. And as you can see, I have my solar panels up, and in this little house here, the video I made before that, I think I didn't have but about 300 watts, maybe 200 watts, I don't remember, but this setup here, as I've progressed, I have got 800 watts of solar hooked up to this little house. And these solar panels are the solar panels that you hear so much about from Harbor Freight. Each one of these is supposed to be about 25 watts, 100 watts for 4, and comes in a set of 4, and it's about $180 with tax out the door. And I have 8 sets of them on this house. All right, and best guess is I'm charging at about 55 amps, somewhere along in there, maybe 60. That's my best guess. And I can't do anything except praise these solar panels. But aside from that, I really like it. And I have had absolutely no trouble whatsoever out of these solar panels, with the exception of this one. It's all cracked up. When I first had it on when I first hooked it up, it was out on the ground, and I woke up one morning and the wind had twisted them up into knots and broke one. But it still works. Hasn't given me the first bit of problem, and boy, I really like it. And but anyway, going on, what I have learned as I have been putting them up, as you can see, I've got some here on the west side. This is my west bank right here, because the sun is just hotter, and I've got an open sky to go forth, and I've got more up here to catch a little bit of that going across the top midday, and I've got some more over here on this side. Now, what I have come to notice is that instead of trying to create one gigantic power bank, which you can see my batteries are up here, all right, and but instead of trying to create that giant power bank, I have learned to divide up my solar. All right, and I'll explain that here. It's like when you turn your devices on. There's some devices that you don't use. There's 100 watts here. All right, now this 100 watts operates the kitchen alone. It's separated from the rest of it. Has a single battery going into the kitchen there. And yeah, one day I'll make that look better, but whatever, it works. And I have one water tank here for the kitchen supply, of course, coming off the little bit of roof there I got. And I don't use the kitchen as much as you use the rest of the devices, like the microwave, for example. You don't turn it on all the time, so it can sit here and it charges and charges and charges, and you never use it. So you've always got power when it comes on. And these little 250 gallon totes here, I praise them too. Y'all will like them, and boy, they're just the best. I had some friends give me those, and they're great. And well, while I'm over here, I'll just show you what I've got. This goes to the sink, and as you can see, all I've got is a little 1 gallon per minute pump. Is all that is. Pumping the water in this box here. I just made a makeshift box here and insulated my water filter. There's a whole house water filter in that thing, and pumps it through the filter and into the sink. And it works fine. And what I did was I did have this pump mounted, but it was so loud, it was vibrating and everything. But when I took it off the mount and just hung it there free, man, it got really, really quiet. And there's my propane bottle, which operates the hot water heater on the inside, and I'll show that to you when we get a chance to get in there. But it's a great little setup, which seems to be working fabulously. But up here on my power bank, as you can see, I got my power bank up here, and these batteries, these 3 batteries here, are almost no good anymore. They're only down to about 10% of whatever they're worth, but they do give me some power, so I leave them on there. And I have them all lined up here on the west side. And for the most part, I have plenty of power. I'm not lacking in any power. And I have two sets of panels. 2 sets of these on the west side are strictly for the TV. And one battery of the power bank up there I showed you, there's one battery that strictly goes to the TV alone. And whenever you run lights, this, that, and the other, you don't ever watch TV all the time. So when I go inside tonight and decide to settle down, I can watch television till time to go to bed. Of course, I'm not that young anymore, so I don't go inside and sit till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I go in and go to bed about 10 o'clock. I'm in the bed. But I love it. And I have this one little 100-pound propane tank, which powers the little heater, the little infrared heater I got on the inside, and keeps me nice and toasty. And here's my water tanks for the shower and the toilet. And I don't know what this is going to mean to y'all, but that's about, at any given time, I guess that's 400 gallons at any given time. And I have never once, I've been here 2 years, and I have never drained the one tank. Just the one tank. I've never drained it. And that's taking a 5-minute shower every day, using the toilet, however, every day. And I've never drained it. But it rains, as it is now. It's raining right now, a little. And just so as you'll know, you see them blue lights. If I can get up high enough, you can see them blue lights up there on top of them solar panels, that they are charging in the rain. You'll love them. They're worth every nickel. And you can tell my gutters, how I have my gutters. I have my gutters up here. going down into my tanks. You can see that right there. And what I have done is I eliminated all the plumbing. There is no plumbing. The only thing on the outside of this house is this one little tiny hose right here. And it froze up with me one time a couple of weeks ago, or 3 or whatever it was. And I had to come out here, poured a little warm water on it, and we were good to go. All I need to do is insulate that, and that'll be fine. And now I'll show you a little bit more, because I have solar lights all over the place. There's some hidden all over the place. These little fellas right here work just fine, and they've been here ever since I've been here, and they light the place up. No, they won't blind you, but you can see. And of course, I do have some lights. Now we'll go inside. Let me go inside and show you what we've got in here. And you can see, hope you can if I turn on enough lights. Oops, wrong way. Turn this around this other way. Here we go. And we start off right here, which is my, this is a 1500 watt power inverter. It's just a 1500. And of course I live by myself, and I got myself a little small refrigerator. I live alone. And this thing runs 24/7. It never stops. And so far, it's been in here now for 6 months, and it's never cut off on me, not even once. And all I got to do is take a little look there, and there's my power, and away we go. Now the one little thing I hate about my setup, I don't really like about my setup, is the air conditioner. I cannot for the life of me get solar and my batteries to power these air conditioners. It just won't do it. I don't know. Maybe somebody can leave a comment on how to make it better. I don't know, because I don't know it all. And if you figure out how to do it, please let me know. Of course, that's a 15,000. I've got a 5,000 in the kitchen, and the solar will power the 5,000 as long as that hot August sun is standing straight up and it's burning up outside. It'll run that 5,000. But the moment a cloud comes over, it just can't handle it anymore. But this is all I've got set up in here in my little dining room. And this was the primary thing, which is to run my refrigerator 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And of course, there's my propane heat. It's a little bit cool in here, but it's all right. And I hope y'all, I don't know, but anyway, that's my setup. And when I do run low of power, and that does happen, when the sun decides to go out and never come back in for 3 or 4 days, it does happen. I do have to crank up my generator. But I've only got to start that thing and let it run about 30 minutes, and then I can cut it back off, and it'll go all day. So I've burned, I don't know, I guess I've put around 5 or 6 gallons of gas in my generator the whole entire month of November. So if a fella says he's got a light bill, that's probably what it would be. That would be considered whatever my light bill would be, whatever gas I put in that generator. But anyway, that's the deal. Now I'll take you back here and I'll show you what I have for in my bathroom here. And now it could be better, but that's the way it is. This is my hot water heater. This is called the EcoTemp L5, and this thing is worth its weight in gold. When I first started, I had a little tank above my head, and what I was doing was I was using the house, and I had to heat, you had to warm the house anyway. and I was using the warmth of the house to make the water uh, the temperature of the room, make it room temperature, and then, you know, it wouldn't be freezing, it wouldn't be hot, but it wouldn't be cold, just be room temperature, and you could take a shower. But when I went and got this thing, things changed. And there is the power supply for it. Now I have run that every day. I take a shower every day with that and the toilet every day, and it has lasted me. That one bottle has done went 9 months on that one little bottle right there. So, you know, when people talk about going off grid, like they asked me when I first mentioned it at my place of work, you know, Ron, how can you go without electricity? How can you live without? I mean, where do you get your hot water? Well, I didn't say I wanted to live like Grizzly Adams. I just want to live off the grid because, yes, I'm too tight. I do not want to pay them any more money. I'm tired of giving AP&L my money to turn that light on right there. That light is free. With the exception of the investment I've got to buy the solar. But that EcoTemp L5 right there, guys, that is the way to go. And you got to learn, you have to learn how to operate a tankless water heater. It doesn't, you know, you can turn your fire up and down, of course, and you can turn the flow up and down, the water up and down. But you got to learn, because you can get in that thing right there, and if you turn that fire up any hotter than what it is, you're going to need to go to the doctor and get burns, get treated for burns, because it is hot. It is sure enough hot. But it has not gave me the first problem. I'm talking about nothing, nada, since I bought it. Not the first issue. And it ain't going to be long. There's going to be a new shower put here. A new shower stall. I've got one in mind already. I'm going to slide in this corner and do away with all that stuff that I got, which looks terrible, but it works. And I'll show you in here. We'll go in here to my kitchen, and I'll let you see here what I've got here. This is another hot water heater that I have. Hooked up just solely to the sink. And this one is called an Excess. Excel, I'm sorry. And the heater, and this little heater works fine, but it's not near as good as the one I just showed you. And everything that's hooked up, everything is hooked up to pressure, and it just lit, and here comes the hot water. But in this particular case, the water's not hot. And that's what I meant by saying you had to learn. So all I've got to do, though, is turn the water down and slow the water down. And as I slow the water down, it stays in the water heater a little longer. Now we're getting some hot water. And I can slow it down even more. And, ooh, yeah, we're getting hot now. Okay. But other than that, I have no trouble out of that hot water heater. I don't not recommend buying it, but if you're going to buy one, buy that EcoTemp L5 in there, and that thing will do you just fine. And while we're in here, I'll show you what I've got hooked up here. This is a Jupiter 10,000 watt power inverter, which powers the kitchen, and anything. That 10,000 watt will power just about anything you put on it, and including that air conditioner unit right there. All you got to do is plug that in there, and it'll run according to however much life you've got in your batteries. That's a good power inverter, by the way. It cost me $450, and works absolutely fine. And I got it hooked up to the microwave, and All I got to do is hit the button and the power is ready to go. And as you can see, it's 12:04 up there now and still charging. It does great. Outstanding. And anyway, that's my setup, guys. I don't know what else to say about the little house, about my off-grid experience, except that I enjoy what I'm doing. I love it. Every month rolls around and I don't have a light bill to pay, it's just something about that just makes you feel better. You know, it just makes you feel better. Anyway, that's my thing. And while I'm at it, for you guys that are building things, I built this little room here. I was going to put it on the other side, but I built it on this side. And it's so short, it's so thin, and it got hot. Oh my God, did it get hot. But I went and bought this little bitty thing right here. And what I was looking for, I was just looking for camouflage netting like they use in duck blinds, and I found one in white. And I laid that over that little 8-foot roof and problem solved. It doesn't get hot anymore. It just don't get hot anymore. It's like putting a shade over the top of it somehow. But it works. It does great. And I hope I've shown you something that maybe you could use. I hope I've given you enough information. If you ask questions that I know about, I'll be happy to ask them or answer them for you. Before we get out, when I start up my generator, the moment I crank that generator up right there, that battery charger comes on, and it only has to come on for a few minutes. And under here is my generator. And when I put that box on top of it, I built that little quiet box, and when I set that little quiet box on it, you just barely can hear that thing running from right here. And it's absolutely great. One of these days I'll get around to making a real box to put on it. But anyway, I hope what I've shown you is helpful in some way. I hope you like it. Like I said, if you have questions, if you have ideas, please shoot me a comment. Ask me something. I don't know. Maybe I forgot to say something. But let me know what you think, or just say hi. Appreciate it, guys, and y'all have a great day.